Hello and welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. We are on the second episode of our first throwback season to Survivor China, season 15. But before we get into the coverage, Riley, how are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm doing good. I I got Dutch Bros today, not to spoil, but
Oh,
so delicious, so good.
I'm so excited.
Not to break the fourth wall a little bit here, but Maddie and I did only record about 4 days ago, the last episode. And so not a lot has happened in our lives. And so while I was out today, because I had to run some errands, I had to get my oil changed. I don't have a great history with oil changes in the past, everybody. So, well, last time I went and got my oil changed was I think over spring break, which was a couple months ago. I went because it had been 6 months. So I've read online or I've heard that it's either you wait until the mileage or if you hit 6 months, whatever comes first. I hit 6 months. So I said, I need to get my oil changed. And when I went to change it, they said, "Oh, your oil is so good. It's clean and you have a lot left." And I went, "Okay, whatever you say." And they just topped me off for free and let me go. But I said, I need to get my oil changed because it's almost been a year since I last got my oil changed, and I just know that's bad. So I went
Oh my
today
god.
and listening to them as they changed it. They're like, "This car has a lot of oil, but it's really dirty." And I was like, I bet it is because I haven't gotten it changed. So I got an oil change today. Anyway, I was out. That wasn't what I wanted to say. I went to Target because I had to get some things, and I thought, what would be a great way to do my little thing this episode since not a lot has happened? We're gonna do a live unboxing.
Yay! Oh my god.
So, this is a Hello Kitty plush danglers. I get these from Target. These are my favorite ones. My backpack probably has, no joke, 15 or probably 15. I wouldn't round up to 20. Probably like 10 to 15 of these. Not these particular, but my backpack buddies is what I call them. I have like 15 of them. My backpack that's what I became known for at school. Is people were like, "Oh my god, all of your things." And I would sit with my advisor, and he said, "Every time I meet with you, you have more additions to your
You have more
army,
friends. Oh,
more friends."
more additions to your army. That's
That's what he
crazy.
said. That's my politics and government advisor, everybody. Anyway, so I got this one. The Hello Kitty ones are my favorite because the clips are really secure and they're a nice size. And Hello Kitty is just so cute. So here are the options. There's a cowboy, like a little punk rock and a cheerleader. And then we have a gym one and a swimming one and like a
Okay,
little
wait. Let me see
ballerina.
the other side again. Let's see. Other side. I'm gonna guess cowboy.
Okay. I would probably I want any of them. That's why I grabbed the box. But I would like the cowboy or the goth singer one.
Mm-hmm.
These are great. I get these from Target. They have different ones. Sometimes it's like Sanrio characters. All the ones that I have are Hello Kitty ones, but I have like 2 summer Hello Kitty ones. They're so cute. I love them. Anyway, I love a blind box. If you're trying to spoil me, a blind box is. I love a blind box. I just bought a shelf for my trinkets because I have so many little blind box trinkets on my windowsill next to me. Oh, this one. Oh, we got the swimming one.
Okay, snorkel. I love it.
It's the season of summer. We're getting into it, and Hello Kitty is ready to go. But then now the thing is like I don't use my backpack now that I'm not going to school anymore, so I don't know where I'm gonna put this. But
Okay, well, I appreciate you doing that. That was very fun. I was on the edge
Maddie,
of my seat.
oh, well, I'm glad I could bring some entertainment to this boring ass podcast.
Oh my god.
Maddie, how are you?
I'm good. Unfortunately, my update is boring as well. Well, not boring, but I recently got a New York Times subscription. They have a deal where it's $4 a month for 6 months, so $1 a week, and it gives you access to everything, all the news, but most importantly, all the games. And so
Of
now
course.
I get to do the big crossword every day.
The big crossword is so hard.
It's so fun. Yes, I feel like I can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Mm.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Sunday, that's where the devil
Sun-
lies, is on a Sunday.
They get so hard. I feel like at some point they do get kind of like not fun, but I'm living, it's like making me enjoy the beginning of the week because then I'm like, oh, it's
Mm.
easy enough that I can do it.
And then you can always go to the archive and just go back and do like
and do
another
all the
Monday puzzle.
Mondays. I have been
Yeah.
doing that. It's just so fun, and I love it. I live for those games. Also, Wordle
You live for those gays?
Yes.
Okay, I love the
I also love Wordle has this thing now called the Wordle bot, and after you play, it'll like analyze your guesses and tell you how good they were. And I also just love that. But sometimes I feel like
do you make good guesses?
yes, but I don't think it always takes into account. Maybe it's just because I play technically hard mode where if I get the letters, I have to use them, and if I get them in the right order, then I have to keep them in that order. I can't make I can't just use throwaway guesses. And I haven't like actually turned hard mode on. I just like do that. But I feel like the Wordlebot doesn't always like get it. Because then it's like, oh, you should have used a word to eliminate more letters. And I'm like, well, that's not really
Have you
the
thought
point.
about just turning hard mode on?
I've thought about it, but I kind of just like don't want to.
Okay.
But anyways, that's my update. Did I tell you about my friend and what happened to his car when he got his oil changed recently?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes.
And that's why I sit in my car while they do it, because I'm like, now you can't
Yeah. You can't
coolant
drain my
or-
transmission
yeah.
fluid. I really like the place I get my oil change. That would be so upsetting though if they were like, you don't need the oil change, because then I'm like, in my head, I would just have such bad anxiety about it until I got it changed. Like I wouldn't be able to stop thinking about it.
I was like, if something happens the next couple of weeks where my car explodes, like famously I have in the past, my car didn't explode. It was on the verge of. I would sue. That was what I said. You know what? I'll just sue them because they told me that I didn't need my oil changed.
Yeah. I really like where I get my oil changed. They're so nice. And every time they ask me, do you have a coupon? I say yes. And then they're like, I can find you a better one. Every single time.
Why did they give me a coupon book a lot when I went, I don't know, a year ago maybe, when I got it done 2 times ago? They gave me a coupon book to use at like our regional like locations. And I was like, the coupon book is like this thick. And I said, how often are you expecting me to come here to use these coupons? And they only lasted through the year. Like they ended in December.
Was it also for like tire rotations and stuff?
Yeah, there was other things on there, but I was like, I wouldn't go here for that service.
Yeah. There's also nothing worse than when you pull up.
I don't know why I'm
Okay.
acting like it's a Jiffy Lube. I don't know why I'm acting like this is like it's like a small town business. I'm talking about Jiffy Lube.
What was I gonna say? Oh, there's nothing worse than when you pull up and you're like waiting in line to get your oil change, and then the person in front of you is like, I'm getting a tire rotation and this and this and this. I'm like, get a life. Go somewhere else. I just want my oil change in 15 minutes.
The guy was like, they've been telling me that I need to get my air filter replaced for years at this point, and I'm just like, no. And he brought it out, and he was like, you need to get this changed. And I was like, I could tell like it wasn't him trying to upsell. He was legitimately like, you need to get this air filter changed. And I was like, he was like, but we don't, this is what they told me the last couple times. They're like, we don't have the filter here, but I can get it here in 10 minutes. And I said, I'm just going to buy it and I'll do it.
That's crazy. It's not that I do whatever they tell me to, because I definitely don't. But when it comes to the air filter and stuff, I'm like, I don't know. I got it changed like 2 times ago when I went, because they tapped it and all the dirt that came out was so much. And I was like, yeah, you can change it. I
need to get it changed. But I'll probably just go to like O'Reilly's or something and buy the because it can't be that hard.
I love O'Reilly's. No, and I bet they'll do it for you. That's my favorite thing with O'Reilly's. Is like you go in there and
yes,
like, can you please?
And they'll like check your lights for you on your board.
Yeah, well, they'll even change your lights.
All the emojis on the emoji, all the emoticons.
Yeah, they check your emojis. Yeah, I have changed my headlights before, but then I'm like, I don't want to do it again. I know that I
I
can do
had
it, but
to
it's just faster if they do it.
I had to do it. I had to change my tail lights because both of my brake lights went out, and I was
I
driving for like a
remember
week.
that,
I was driving for like a week without them.
which is
And
crazy.
okay, I didn't. It just felt like I was driving every single day. It was like a week and a half between when I found out before I changed it. Well, because I told you, I think I even said this on the
Yeah.
podcast. My straight boyfriend Josh was supposed to change it for me, and then he never did. And I said I have to do it because I can't. Josh is a busy boy. He's busy playing baseball and whatever boys do. And I was like, I feel bad because I'm not going to make you do this on your schedule when I, another grown man, should be able to do this by myself. So I was like, I'm just going to figure it out.
Anyways.
Maybe we should talk about Survivor.
Yeah. Instead of talking about things that we've already talked about on the podcast.
Maddie and I before starting, we were like, "There's not a lot to talk about," and this is what happens: is we're two yappers, and as soon as you get us going, we will go, and we will talk about nothing for no reason.
We will. Also, it's getting so dark in here, and my lighting is funny. Anyways.
Oh, that happened last time I recorded in my room. I forgot to turn
yeah.
my. I'll just. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Anyways, let's get back into Survivor China season 15, episode 2. So, we open on the rainy Zanhu Yellow tribe. I wrote that in parentheses so I can refer back to it because the early tribes I always get confused. And they're once again all standing under the little roof, which is so funny. And Dave says that he's standing up to be the leader because they need one. And he didn't want to do it, but why not him? And they then are all sort of arguing about where to put the shelter. And leader Dave is like, I know what's best. And there's conflict.
This was a wild episode for Dave.
Yeah.
I'm on the anti-Dave train.
I'm also on the anti-Dave train. That would be driving me insane.
It's just a lot of bad leadership.
Yes, and we'll get into it, but it gets even worse.
Why are you, as a formal model, telling me what to do?
I forgot he was a model.
What is your real job, Dave?
Also,
former model is not a job.
Why did I kept thinking that his name was Dan. The entire time I was like, Dan, and then I heard Dave, and I was like, who's Dave? Had to go back and fix my notes. He's just like boring man. Anyways, then we go to the Fei Long tribe, the Red tribe, and they're all hard at work making their camp look beautiful, except for Jean Robert, who is having a little snooze and foaming at the mouth.
Somebody needs to check on him. He sounds like, rest in peace, my bulldog Tula, who died while Maddie and I were in Wisconsin on the way to the Mall of America. That is a story for another time.
Okay, can I say something? when we joined the call to just chat before, Riley was going through a lot at the moment. He was like with personal stuff, his Survivor, and I was like, oh my god, what if like something bad's happening? And then I thought about that moment. I was like, oh my god, what if I'm with you again and something happens to a dog?
Y'all, what a crazy scenario. That is a ChatGPT sentence. We were in the car visiting Maddie's friends in Wisconsin, driving to the Mall of America about a 4-hour flight home, and potentially going to go eat at the Rainforest Cafe. We did not eat at the Rainforest Cafe. And I got a text from my dad. He tried to call me, and I said, "What? I'm in the car. I can't pick up." And he said, "Oh, we're putting the dog down."
In a silent car.
In a silent car, no radio playing, nobody's talking. My dad tried to call me, and I said, "I can't." Mind you, I don't know these people. Maddie barely knows them too. No, I mean she knows them more than me. But like, you didn't know Beth's parents like that.
I did not. I knew Beth.
So you knew Beth. Anyway, it sounded John Robert sounded like, may she rest in peace, my old bulldog Tula, who had severe breathing problems. That's what it sounded like. I looked at Rowan, I watched the episode with, and I said, not him sounding like Tula right now. It's
oh my god.
It's like the, it's like the, and I'm like,
POV,
oh my
Riley's
god,
a bulldog.
You sound like you're like a motorcycle and you're starting the engine.
Yeah. It was bad.
He needs to get that looked at. Sleep apnea, baby, that's a killer. It is a killer.
The not so silent killer. Anyways. Okay. Then, where am I? Okay. Then we see Amanda and Todd starting to form an alliance. And they're like, well, Todd's like, this is perfect. Then they're like, oh, wait, we need one more person in our alliance who can kind of like be our shield. So they're like, Aaron, join us. And he's like, yeah. And Todd says, this is perfect. This is what I came here to do. And
the vibe was... Go.
Yeah.
You go.
I loved when Amanda the whole time was like, yeah, this is how you play. This is how you start. This is the beginning. You have to have alliances.
Amanda is giving, I'm a recruit and I was told to watch like a season of Survivor or like look up, like read on Survivor. Like, this is how you play. She was told that she needed to make an alliance and she was like, this is it.
This is it. She was definitely giving pageant queen in that moment.
I live for her. I'm so sorry. Another, not to 180 this conversation yet again, but it's so unserious having somebody named Amanda on this season because all I can think about when you say her name is the TikTok audio. Is like, I'm Amanda 7, and then it cuts and it's like a guy. It's like a little girl saying that, and then it cuts and it's a man going, I'm Amanda and I'm 7. That's what it's giving.
I think of your old car. Amanda.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
I was gonna say that what's his name, Aaron, really, the vibe was weird when they were trying to like get Aaron into the alliance. He was like looking away, like making sure nobody was coming, and I was like, give me eye contact when you're talking to me.
Yeah.
He didn't seem very into it. He seemed like, we'll do it, but
yeah,
there didn't seem like a full sense of commitment.
Yeah. Well, then we see them all as a group kind of talking about like, okay, we should settle down a little bit, have some routines around camp. And then John Robert is like, we should all just rest. And he says that his laid back attitude and everything is all part of the plan. I'm like, well, that's upsetting people.
You know what it's giving? It's giving Q. It's all part of the plan.
It's all part of the plan.
It's all his it's his strategy.
It is his strategy. Then we go back to the Zonhu tribe, and they sort of have a shelter going, ish. It's not great, but their next goal is fire. This would drive me insane. So Jamie just wants to like build a little fire so they can, cook a little bit of rice. But Dave is like, no, we've got to build this elaborate fire pit and make it perfect before even starting to make a fire. Which I'm like, why don't you just make a fire and then like also build on the side? Like, why does it have to be like
you have to
do
this before you can do the other?
Exactly. That makes zero sense. And as they're discussing this, Dave is like bringing over these huge stones and just drops them and covers Jamie in mud.
That would have sent me into oblivion.
That would have made me violent.
I would have said, I would have looked at him and said, you are going home. You are going home.
I wish that would happen more. You make each other mad. You're going home.
You are going.
You're not.
One of my favorite, Aiko Wong, Canada Big Brother 5. She said, "You are going home. You are going home." It's so good. Just telling people like that is. I'm sorry, that eats every time. That's what Jamie should have done to Dave. That was so.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then Ashley says that since getting the flint at Tribal, no one has even attempted to make a fire and cook rice.
That is wild. Somebody fucking take that flint from that man and strike it a couple times.
Yeah. So then Dave overall is just not letting anyone have opinions or, offer suggestions on how to do things. He's shutting everyone down and is like, I'm building it. The shelter needs to be this way. The fire needs to be this way. But I'm like, they just want to eat food. Like, they're not asking for a lot. It's not like they're saying it would be, it just makes no sense in my head. I can't even justify it at all.
I don't. That's how you know that you're a man that has never been told no in his life.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
No. Then is my favorite word, I swear, on this podcast. Then. And next, we go to the reward challenge. And oh my god, I forgot how physical some of these challenges can get because they just aren't like that anymore.
Why are you as a man putting your hands on a woman?
So
that was insane.
They square up 3-on-3, 3 people from each tribe, and basically they have to get a big ball through the mud to like their corner. And it's just entirely physical. And the first tribe to 2 points wins. The reward is fishing supplies, a fishing boat, which is really cool, and then another surprise that will be revealed at the end of the challenge. And it was like kind of interesting to watch. I thought it was kind of fun to watch because we just don't see it anymore, but I would never ever want to participate in that.
Oh no.
It looked horrendous.
I mean, I could see the fun of like, oh, this is like you as an adults never tend to like, because it's giving very children's game.
Yeah.
Children field day kind of who can get the ball over the line. Adults, I could be like, oh, there's something fun. You're playing in the mud, but it's just the physicality is so, you're right, it's wild. We never see some things this physical in Survivor anymore, especially between each other.
I know.
Like when they're having to put their hands on other people.
I know. I wish there were more things that were like, I don't know if necessarily like direct, like hand-to-hand combat. But I do wish it was a little more physical, like directly against each other sometimes. I think there are other ways to do it that are like more of a middle ground between what the challenges like are present day versus this. And I'd like to explore those options because it was kind of fun.
It was fun to watch. I'm sure it was not. I'm sure it was not. And then the rain started pouring.
I know. Ooh.
And I don't know, like somebody threw Denise's shoe at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so funny. Amanda loses her top.
My mom's gonna kill me.
It's so funny. It's so funny. But I could see why a player might be like, that was so stressful.
Yeah. Well, Fei Long wins 2-0. And the surprise is that Fei Long gets to kidnap a member of Zon Hu until the immunity challenge. They pick Jamie. They at one point say it's because she's like the nicest or like sunniest person on that tribe, so they want to take her away. And then Jeff gives this part was so funny. Jeff gives her this tube and it says to read in private, but when he holds it up and he's pointing to each word as he says it, I'm like, Jeff, I think she knows how to read. Jamie, this says read in private.
I don't like that would have pissed me off. It's just little things like that. Like if I was playing Survivor, that would have pissed me off.
Yeah, especially Jeff, when you're hungry.
I know. Jeff, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, back at I almost said then. Okay, back at Zon Hu.
You try not to say them is me try not to say
Yeah. We. Okay, at Zon Hu, everything is flooded. They said it looks like a natural disaster. I was like, okay, Hurricane Katrina.
If I just came back from a challenge that I lost and my whole camp is flooded, Frosty picks up a shoe and bends it over and water pours out from it, that may have been my breaking point.
But Dave's fire pit is still intact. That would have been my breaking point.
If what? If Dave would have been like, but hey, the brick's bricked, and the fire pit is good. We can't sleep in a fucking fire pit, Dave.
Yeah, why didn't you build our shelter that good? Yeah, that would have been a low for me at that point. So yeah.
Why did they pick right there? Was there no? I wonder if there was a more elevated place in their camp. But when they do like a pan over, like everything is flooded, even like the bottom level, because there's stairs.
Oh my god, the upside
bottom
down
level is flooded.
frog.
Everything.
Yeah.
May that frog rest in peace.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. that. Hey.
Okay. Next we go to Fei Long, and at this point they realize that in the Art of War from the first episode that they get, it talks about stealing from your enemies. So then they're all like, don't let Jamie steal anything. We have to keep an eye on her. Where's the flint? Which I'm like, okay, good thinking. But
I guess
it was like I don't think Jamie's gonna do that.
I'm like, why are we profiling Jamie right now? Watch her. Don't let her go. I need them to be like, hi, could somebody customer service Jamie? Could somebody service Jamie, please? Make sure that we have all eyes on the floor. That would be great. Thank you.
How often does that happen?
There's a customer in shop 2 that needs to be. If somebody can make sure they're finding everything okay, that would be great. It happens often. Not from me. I don't give a fuck what you do.
It's not your money.
And that's what I said.
Well, Jamie then goes to go sit by herself, and her little tube tells her to give that it's a clue to the idol at the Fei Long camp, and she needs to give the clue to someone. Before we see who she gives it to, we also see Jean Robert and Aaron fighting. I didn't quite catch what they were fighting about, though.
They were fighting. It was basically like Jean Robert was just laying down, and Aaron was like, "Get up off your ass and do." Nobody wants to work these days. Nobody wants to work. And then everybody was like, "Please stop fighting." While Jamie is here.
Well, they were like, "Don't fight in front of our guest. You guys can't shut up for a few hours." Oh my god.
Which they're not wrong. That would have pissed me off.
Yeah.
This is where I'm like, oh my god, could I play Survivor? Because the way that people piss me off so bad, I would have been like, I need you to get some common fucking sense.
Yeah, maybe.
I need you to use your critical. I need you to use your critical, as Dave says to Ashley later in the episode. Use your critical thinking skills.
I love telling people that. Okay, one thing I thought was interesting was I don't remember. Oh yeah, Jamie was like, "Oh, they're fighting a lot. Like, it's crazy to see that they keep winning challenges when, like, this is the dynamic." But then all we're seeing at her tribe is them fighting, too.
Yeah.
Like, that.
Which I think ultimately, like, as we see later in the episode, becomes, like, the main factor in who they're deciding to vote out. Is like, we need to stop the conflict.
Yeah.
So.
But I thought it was a funny
but you're right.
Yeah,
to make knowing that their tribe also had a lot of conflict happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we go back to Zanhu, and Dave and Ashley are fighting again over Dave barking orders at everyone. Which, you know what? Shout out to Ashley for standing up to him.
Shout out to Ashley, because I'm like, somebody needs to, and it's what I find unfortunate later in the episode. Obviously, spoiler alert, Ashley ends up getting voted out this episode. But what I find so upsetting is that Ashley was saying what everybody was thinking. And for her to have gotten people being like, "Oh, we can't keep her around." Ashley is fighting for everybody because nobody is saying it.
Yeah. No, we'll talk about it when we get there, but that was actually pretty upsetting that it was her. We go back to Fei Long then, and Leslie is sick, and she misses her Bible.
But she's not religious.
But she does have a relationship with Jesus Christ.
And she's a Christian radio host.
Yeah, but she's not religious. But sweet Sunshine Jamie decides that, you know what, Leslie's the one that needs this idol clue. But she does say it's because she's the weakest.
Okay, no, because that ate so bad. Jamie being like, I'm gonna give this idol clue to the weakest Should I do an accent?
Yeah.
Wait. I'm from Texas. I'm gonna give this idol clue to the weakest person on their tribe. And then she's like, I'm gonna give it to Leslie. And it's such a good, it's just the idea of they think that she is this little sweet person, but she's like, I think you're weak and I think you're bad and I think you're gonna go home. And so I'm gonna give this to you because I want to make it messy for your tribe when they try to vote you out.
Yeah. Also, I love your little accent.
Thank you. Jamie, for I don't know why.
For remember, a woman.
Huh? I didn't say that. Did you say that?
You said for a
Oh, I was going to say for a white person.
Oh.
No, that's not what I was going to say. For a what? Now I can't remember what I was going to say. For a while. While. While.
Oh.
While. After watching China, because sometimes, especially I feel like a lot of gay people do this, is when they watch Survivor, there's always like one woman on a season that you just are like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with you. And Jamie was that person for me for a long time, which is so random because, again, spoiler alert, Jamie never comes back on Survivor. Like, and there are some pretty iconic people on this season, and I was just like, I'm obsessed with Jamie. She had a really interesting like narrative arc this episode where she's like picked because she's seen as the sunshine, but she's kind of a little nasty. She's like, I think Leslie's weak, and then she ends up kind of being like the leader in the strategy at their camp later in the episode when they lose. She's like, we have to think through these options, and it's either like me sending the person I don't like home or me sending my friend home. We hear a lot from her perspective, and I think she's a really interesting character this season.
And her delivery is so funny.
It is so funny.
I love her.
Me too. Get Jamie on the pod.
Get Jamie on the pod. Where's Jamie these days?
She is a realtor, and her husband is Eric on this season.
Like 47?
No, Eric on this season of Survivor China.
Really?
Yes. They are married.
Oh, that's cute.
I think. But I think she's a realtor.
I love that for her.
Should we get her on the pod? I'll reach out.
We need her. We need a Jamie and Q to realtor up.
I bet you they're the same. Well, Jamie, our people will reach out to your people.
Our people, yeah, definitely. Well, Leslie then starts looking for the idol and decides that she needs help looking for it. So she's going to tell Todd, which Todd is thrilled about because he's like, why would you ever tell anyone that you have this? Our thoughts exactly, Todd.
Exactly.
Todd, it's almost like you could see into the future. And how no one can keep an idol to themselves these days.
Ever.
We next go to the immunity challenge. And it seemed like pretty simple. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a pretty short challenge.
Yeah, basically they have like this
It was pretty simple, but sorry, go.
This big pole thing. And they have to work as a team to break through this wall. And then basically they go through like this little puzzle or obstacle puzzle thing where they have to like slide the pole through these thing and then hit a gong at the end. And what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I can't remember. I was going to say it was pretty simple, pretty short. Oh, but the Yellow Tribe did have a hard time for something that was so seemingly simple.
Yeah, did you see Dave kind of like
flail?
Looking I was like he was going to pass out?
I was really confused. I was like, not to be somebody on their couch watching this and like, oh, what was the math that we did last episode? 17 years later, 18 years later.
Yeah.
But I was just like, this, I cannot. And you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be the strong man on this tribe, and you can't swing the barricade.
I know it's not like they were
or
having to
the whatever it's
run
called.
long distances or
No, it
like
was just swinging it, and nobody. There was not a single other person that had a problem in
no.
all of the 15 people that were or left. Not just on his tribe, but both tribes. I was like, there's nobody else having a problem. I wonder why he was struggling so bad.
Yeah, but shout out
Probably because he
Frosty.
didn't have any food, because
Oh
he wouldn't let them
yeah.
build a fire.
My God. You would
Oh, how
think
the turntables have tabled.
you would think that like them having food would be a priority, but anyways, we then so Fei Long wins, and we go back to Zanhu, and basically Dave just takes responsibility for them losing, and then the tribe, courtesy of Jamie, um, Queen of Strategy, basically they just kind of start talking about like, okay, are we gonna vote Ashley or are we gonna vote Dave? Period.
It seemed it seemed they want to end the conflict, but like the idea is, oh, Dave is what will keep us good at challenges, but
But he,
and well, good at challenges. The argument is, oh, good at challenges and good at camp, and but Ashley is like a good friend. Dave is neither good at camp or challenges.
yeah, last time I checked, your camp looks horrible, and the one thing he put his effort into was the fire, which you guys didn't even have for a long time, and he just totally failed at the challenge. He hasn't been helping at all.
And he's not a
So
good leader.
a horrible leader. I would argue that him being such a bad leader has like the complete opposite effect. Like I would just rather get him out completely, in my opinion. So then we get to tribal, and they all talk about how Dave's leadership style isn't great, and he makes a lot of demands. And Sharia talks about how she doesn't even know any of these people because they haven't had a chance to just sit and like get to know each other. And she says that she hasn't enjoyed a single moment yet because of how Dave is running the place. Yet they vote Ashley out.
I don't know why, and it's like it seemed like the split was we were intended to look at it as like PG, Frosty, and Dave in one group, and then Eric, Ashley, or Eric, Jamie, and Shreya in another group, and then Ashley just like the extra person.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, oh, PG and Frosty. It's well, what I remember from the first episode is that people were like, we don't like PG. And then they're like, now we don't like Dave. And in my head, I'm like, if these people are supposed to be grouped together, it's just much easier to put them into like their outcast group and then vote together as a 4,
Mm-hmm.
vote Dave out. I mean, I guess you would be 2 men down. And you think about it, they have like, on the other tribe, they have like John Rivera and James. And so you have 2 physically larger men. And so it's like, okay, well, how do you sort of go against that, considering the challenges that they have done have been pretty like, I don't know, whatever. But I'm just thinking like, I don't understand what the benefit is for you to keep Dave over Ashley. And Ashley is strong too. I mean,
She's
she
a
was sick.
professional wrestler.
I know. And like, yeah, she was sick, but you guys don't have the best like it's not like Ashley's the only person who is in poor health right now.
Yeah.
Or poor spirits.
Yeah.
You're living in a giant puddle.
Yeah, your camp has currently been wrecked by
Yeah.
a natural disaster, as they put
Yeah.
it. Yeah. But that wraps up this episode.
It's a sad Ashley boo. It's a really it was sad to see her go here.
Yeah.
I feel like I liked her sort of attitude and approach to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, if nobody's gonna say it, I'll say it.
Yeah, and
which can be an important part to the game.
I think they needed that. But
in a way, it is a version of leadership. It may not be the outspoken, let's get this done type of leadership, but somebody needs to be able to voice the opinions
of the people.
Exactly. That's the people's princess right there.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for that note to end on.
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts?
Your mom.
Oh. Hi.
I think this is hopefully the Yellow Tribe can pick it up a little bit.
I know. I do too. It also seems kind of fun to be on the Red Tribe, minus Jean Robert.
Yeah, that seems like a good group of people.
Yeah. Anyways,
Do you have any final thoughts?
I'm excited to keep watching. I did
Okay.
watch. I have seen this episode before, so we still haven't hit the point where I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm having a great time. That's my final thought.
Slay.
Well, thank you for watching this episode of the Making Fire podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for little clips. And we'll catch you next week. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. Oh my god! Maddie!
Have
Maddie.
you ever been to Krispy Kreme?
Have you ever been to Krispy Kreme?
I know! We've got like 2 episodes without you asking me.
Did I not ask it last episode?
No.
Oh. My head was in a different space, y'all. Well, have you?
Have you?
Have you ever been to Krispy Kreme?
Sorry, I didn't
Answer me!
I didn't catch that. What did you say? Maybe Krispy Kreme was the friends we made along the way.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.